welcome everybody back to another live stream on the TK Daily Facebook page. Glad to see you guys here. Boy, oh boy, we have new information coming in, and there is severe weather potential. It is going to be likely here. You see, we pop up the graphic here. And just like yesterday, we're going to go in more detail of the timing, the impacts, what we can see if there's strong tornadoes possible, large hail, damaging winds, the uncertainties. Even though we're 24 hours out from this event, less than 24 hours out, we still have some uncertainties, and we will answer your questions here on the live stream. So if you have any questions, make sure to drop them down in the chat and we'll make sure we get to them this evening. So glad to see you guys here. Looks like we have a few people popping in, and let's get in the live stream. And hello everybody, glad to see you this evening. Thanks so much for joining me this evening. We are going to have, like I said, the live severe weather discussion you can see on your screen next to me. We're going to go over the topics and the timings. We're going to let you know what to expect, some uncertainties, and we're going to make sure that you're prepared and aware of what's happening today. So how's everybody doing this evening? Let me know in the chat how you guys are doing. Glad to see you guys here. Hi Leslie, how are you doing today? And one thing before we get started, I just wanted to let you know, I think it's kind of crazy that some of the schools have announced early release days. I remember when I was back in high school, we just went in the hallway and we just ducked our heads and we just hoped for the best. And usually nothing happened because the Mother Nature was like, you need to stay in school. So that's always happened. So glad to see you guys, everybody. We have lots of things to go over, so let's get right into the live stream. What's up, Q? How's it going? What's the weather for the next 5 days? Well, we did make a weather video for the next 5 days, but we're going to let you know tonight and tomorrow in this live stream. But glad to see you. Hopefully all is well out there. And we're going to start with the radar here, because if I pull it out to the left side here, we have some strong thunderstorms, and you can see a tornado watch has been issued off to the southwest that covers part of Rolla, Waynesville, and down near Salem in Missouri and Houston. Now, they just issued this not too long ago, and it's for this line of thunderstorms. And this is the first part of the severe weather that's going to be moving to our area. Now, this line is currently severe, but is expected to weaken. We're not really supposed to see any severe weather, but damaging wind threat couldn't be ruled out this evening. And if we turn off the radar here, we do have a marginal threat for severe weather for most of our area that we cover here. For the Troy area, Belleville, Farmington, Potosi, Union, and this runs until 7 a.m. Monday morning. This severe risk runs 7 a.m. Monday morning. And you can see out towards the west near Jefferson City, Columbia, Lynn, Waynesville, and near California and the Lake Ozark is where we have a 2 out of 5 severe weather threat. And that is for that line. So you see how on the screen it gets slight, then it goes marginal, then it goes to thunderstorm. So you can see the Storm Prediction Center is telling us that it is going to weaken as it's going through. And to make you guys feel better, the tornado threat is only for the western half of our area. So Warrenton, Jefferson City, Lynn, Rolla, that is just for a quick spin up tornado. And you can see the majority of us are not seeing any tornado threat. It's more just a wind threat. You can see the heightened wind. It's more damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. Not really seeing any hail as well, so that is great news. So I wanted to let you guys know that is the first part of the severe weather event. So we have storms out to our west. You guys see that? We have storms out to our west. Let's put the radar back on. It's going to move to the east. And now this is what we have to watch out for. We'll show you in just a second. But this is going to be the factor of the first part of the weather event on Monday. But let's go to the outlook. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. We're going to go to the outlook. Had a lot of questions about the outlook here. So we're going to go to the outlook. Let's turn off the radar here. And everybody is in a 3 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. I'll zoom in just for a couple of you guys so you can see your location. Everyone is in a 3 out of 5. This means scattered. The numerous severe thunderstorms are expected. 3 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. They did not really see any point of issuing a moderate risk just yet because it's very uncertain right now. So that is a good news that we haven't been upgraded to a 4 out of 5 just yet. That means Storm Prediction Center is not really seeing a very extreme tornado outbreak at this time. It's just very uncertain at the moment. Samantha says, is the severity for tomorrow decreasing? Wouldn't say decreasing, but it's a little bit more, let's just say, more linear, more instead of discrete. So I guess yes, but we'll show you in just a second. But here is the probability. So the tornado risk has gone up a little bit and it has expanded south here. And around the St. Louis area, we are in a 10% hatch and a significant. So not only will see 10% chance of seeing a tornado, but we could also see a storm that also is EF2 plus range. Now, I don't want to scare you because it's not likely and it's not for everybody, but that is what the risk means here. And Brewer says, so I keep seeing different timing. I heard morning storms are not severe. The severe storms will be around 1. The morning storms could be severe. With the damaging wind threat, there is a risk until 7 a.m. of seeing severe storms. But the main event that we're talking about now is for, like I said, like you said, after 1 to 2 p.m. So wind is why we have mainly the wind is, like I said, wind is the biggest deal here. And you can see really where it starts to increase. This is almost on the high end of the severity risk right here. So you can see around 45% up to 60 is the highest, but 35% chance that we could see storms over 70 miles per hour. So like I said, tornadoes is elevated, wind is elevated, and you can see the hail is just all over the place here. Hail is just all over the place, but we could see some significant hail as well with these storms as we go into Monday. Now, like I said, on overnight is mainly, we do have a marginal risk of severe weather, but it's mainly just an isolated wind threat. So that is that. Molly said, what is it going to look like in Columbia, Mo, over the next couple of days? Right now, you guys are just outside of a severe thunderstorm warning. So you can see some isolated severe storms tonight with the severity tomorrow here. Let's see, I heard the severe storms are starting earlier. Well, we do have a threat. Let's go to the radar here. Let's go to the timing here. So make sure you share the live stream because we are going over the timing, everybody. We are going over the timing, and I'm going to pop up the times here. And it could start earlier. So basically, winds are the biggest risk in St. Louis Monday afternoon. Wind in the early part of the morning, but all hazards are possible in the afternoon. All hazards are possible in the afternoon. Wind is the main threat in the early morning parts of the storm. So give me just a second. I'm going to add the time to the top part of the screen, and then we'll go over the timing. We'll break down hour by hour what we're seeing here. So let's get the timing popped up here. Glad to see you guys this evening. And just letting you guys know, we'll make it through. Okay, we'll make it through. So look at here's the radar. At the top of the screen is the timing here, so you can follow along with me. So let's back this up a little bit. So here is Sunday. This is the latest long range data that we have. So watch carefully. So you can see as we get into 11 p.m., we have showers and thunderstorms around the Columbia area. Somali, around the overnight hours, we'll have some showers and thunderstorms, maybe a severe 1 or 2 that will be possible. It starts entering the western half of our main coverage area just after midnight. And you see, as we go into midnight, we'll have a line develop here. This is where we can see our damaging wind risk, hail risk, and maybe an isolated quick spin up tornado, but we're not really expecting that. Mainly damaging winds. And this is the early morning hour. Look, 4 a.m. So as you're just waking up, for some of us, it's going to be storming. It's going to be very loud here. And as we go into 5 a.m., look, we still have widespread showers and thunderstorms around the area. The morning commute will have some impacts here. It is going to be very loud. It's going to be wet, heavy rain. Make sure you take it slow. Now, you see how there is a line here. Let's get the Epic Pen set up here. You see how there is a line. So here is a line. Watch this line. It sets up a boundary, but as we go, we'll keep going here. And as we go into the afternoon time, you see the storm sit right along I-70 there, and that's going to be something to watch. And as we get into the afternoon time, we still have some lingering showers and thunderstorms. We still have lingering showers and thunderstorms. This is still the marginal risk. Now look off to your west here, near the Columbia area. You see the cold front getting going. You see all these isolated thunderstorms and discrete cells out here. This is the severe risk right here. This is why we have the 3 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. So you can see with the timing right now with this model, we are at 4 p.m. So we're at 4 p.m. right now, and it keeps moving off to the east. And we still have a threat once it gets to our area of some discrete supercells. This is what could provide the strong tornado EF2 plus, large damaging winds up to baseball size, and some gusting winds up to 70, maybe 80 miles per hour. And we keep going with the future radar here, and eventually once it starts to get across the river, it starts to go into a line. Now when that happens, tornado threat drops a little bit, and it turns in more into a damaging wind threat with 70 miles per hour with quick spin up tornadoes, like have we seen in the past with these past severe storms. And once it gets off to 8, 9 o'clock, it is out of the area, and we have no evening thunderstorms. So right now, the model is showing about 4 p.m. is getting going out to the west, and it's really entering our coverage area around about, let's say, 5, 6, 7, and 8 p.m. So that is what we're seeing right now. But the major thing is that if these storms linger too long into the day, if these storms right here linger too long in the day, we could eventually only get a line of thunderstorms that look like this, and it can limit the possibility, but we're just not quite sure just yet. There's still 2 possible scenarios, which means one scenario is we get these discrete cells that look like this. You see how they're far apart, where we get the strong damaging winds, or they could start in a line like this and pose a damaging wind threat and a quick tornado threat. But it all depends how long it rains and if we have any boundaries. You see how the rain is basically staying north of my line here? Look at this here. See, throughout the day, it mostly stays right at or above that line. That is where the warm front is going to be, and storms like to feed off the warm front, so they could be along or below the warm front to cause the significant tornado. So if this line goes up just a little bit like this, now areas along I-70 and south have a greater threat of seeing the strong tornadoes, and then up north will have a limited threat of seeing more of a damaging wind and severe weather threat. So that is what we're looking here, and it's really hard to say because different models show a different outcome here, and I wanted to show you that. And like I said, you need to be prepared for this situation. It could go either way. It could go strong storms, violent storms, or it could be a bust and we just see damaging winds and a quick spin up tornado. It is certainly possible because, let me check at the chat. Afternoon meaning what time? Okay, my basement is flooded here in St. Louis, so I have to head 30 minutes south for a safe place, just trying to figure out. Right now, it looks more after around 3, 4 o'clock is when I would start watching, but it could always be a little bit earlier depending on what time the rain moves out. Let's see, I can't lie, I'm so scared for the storm. I have so much severe anxiety, debating if I should go to my class or stay in my dorm just in case. I would say up to about noon. If you have any plans, get them done by noon, and then I would probably be at home. Alright, so we're going to show the NAM model here. This is the NAM model here, everybody. The NAM model shows the best case scenario, in my opinion. So here is... says, will you have another update tonight or be on overnight? We may be on overnight. We just have to watch the storms, but I'll have a text post with the new HRRR run like we did last night. So another update will be coming. But this is probably the last live update until the storms happen tomorrow afternoon. So you can see showers and thunderstorms really fall apart here with the NAM model at 3 a.m. And then as we get into the early morning hours, you can see more showers and thunderstorms. This is the NAM model. It's a different model that we have to look at to try to look at trends here. And you can see this is around 7 a.m., 8 a.m., showers and thunderstorms, maybe a damaging wind risk and a hail risk with this as well. But you can see as we get into the afternoon time, along the cold front, see, this is the best case scenario. You see how the storms are forming into a line? That is more of a damaging wind threat. Right over Columbia, it starts to form. So Columbia, I will watch as well for severe storms, just in case they go discreet. We could see an isolated strong tornado threat there. That is why we are all in a risk. But look, as it gets into our area around 6, 7 p.m., it's in a line. No discrete cells popping up on the NAM model. It is all in a line of thunderstorms, mainly because it's just raining too long, and all we have is the power of the cold front. So basically what I'm saying right now is we're going to have severe storms. Okay? Want to be honest with you, we're going to have severe storms. But the exact intensity, if we're going to have the strong side or the marginal side, is to be determined, because there's just, to be honest with you, there's just no way to know how long it's going to rain. We can't ask the clouds. We can't ask Mother Nature how long it feels like. It's just a rough estimate, and these models are trying to do the best to their ability of trying to figure out when the rain is going to be. So if we have the rain lasting too long like this, and the atmosphere is not recovering how the model shows, oh, voice crack, then we get a line of thunderstorms, because the cold front has to pass regardless, okay? That's the biggest thing. The cold front right here has to go through to the east, which is going to bring severe storms regardless. So damaging wind, quick spin up tornado, and a hail risk regardless, okay? Regardless. But the high end depends if it doesn't rain that much. Because the easiest way, hey everyone, we're going to do something real quick. Where's this at? Where's this at? Hey, everyone. Yes, there is a clock back here with semi-trucks on it. But, hey, everyone, look at me. Can you guys hear me? Yes, you can. Hey, everyone. Two things I need to tell you, because I know there's a lot of anxiety. Couple things I need to tell you. Just listen. One, we're going to get through this, okay? We're going to get through this. I'm going to be live tomorrow, okay, during this severe weather event in the afternoon. So you have me to keep you updated throughout the day. We're on Facebook and YouTube. And there's two scenarios, like I said. There's two scenarios. First scenario is that it rains in the morning, like we showed. It clears out, and we have a couple hours for the atmosphere to destabilize, and we get discrete, strong EF2 tornadoes that are possible. Right now, I'm just not seeing too much support in that, so not really leaning towards that. And as we get into the data part, as part 2, we could get a line of thunderstorms just like this, and it would reduce the threat to damaging winds to isolated severe weather, which, like I said, regardless, we're going to have severe weather, okay? Regardless, we're going to have severe weather, okay? Now, do I think schools letting out early is necessary? I don't think so. I, unfortunately, do not think so at this moment, but it is what it is at this point. But you can see as we get into the NAM model here, that's when it pops up, the isolated damaging winds tornado threat. So there's two outcomes here. There's two outcomes here because the rain overnight. Let's see how far this data goes that we have here. Let's see how far the data goes here. Let's see if we get the newest data. So you can see here, the newest data that we have coming in shows some overnight thunderstorms that are going to be happening. Doesn't look too strong in this model run. And then early morning, we have showers and thunderstorms that are going to be moving through. This one is still loading, so we still have a couple hours, so we'll check back this in a few minutes. But you can see here, showers and thunderstorms in the morning, which could limit the severity of the threat. But the cold front here, which I'll show you on the temperature page, the cold front has to come through, and the cold front brings severe weather regardless. But as far as severe weather outbreak, it's just I don't know if I would call it tornado outbreak just yet. I'm not sure if I would call it a tornado outbreak just yet. Let's see if we can put the dew points. Trying to show you guys the boundary here. And the boundary is going to determine what it is. And the boundary, everybody, if you guys are not sure what a boundary is basically there is going to be, let's see, we might be able to see it over here. Might be able to see it here. And the boundaries. Yeah, so you can kind of see the boundary. It's a little bit right here, just long I-70, around I-70-ish. And basically what the boundary is north of it, we're just going to draw a line for example. So north of it is cool air. South of it is warm and nasty air. So imagine your house is at 70 degrees, okay? House is at 70 degrees. This is 350, the warm, unstable air. We're acting like this is an oven door. So here's the oven door. So if you let the oven open, it's going to be hot and sticky, fighting that cool air. And then the other side, if you keep the door closed, it's going to remain cool. So that is what a boundary means. And I know you guys have heard us talk about it a lot with the boundary, and that's what it could be happening. But if it does work out, it could be a significant severe weather event. If it were to work out, it would be a significant severe weather event. But like you see, the scrolling bar at the top is not guaranteed at the moment. Even the Storm Prediction Center is not even saying guaranteed, or we would have a moderate risk right now. So, like I said, the big limiting factor, we'll go over the timing if you're just tuned in. We're going over the timing of the severe weather threat here. But I have to say, the atmosphere is ready to go. It's just that this morning storms could limit how severe weather, how strong and severe the storms get. Like I said, it could be the low end or it could be a high end. I don't think we're getting out with nothing. I think unfortunately we are going to have a severe weather risk regardless. So overnight storms are happening out to our west right now. Latest HRRR that we have that goes all the way through. You can see 5 a.m. showers and thunderstorms. It's going to be very loud. Maybe a damaging windstorm at the most here. And then throughout the day, this is what we want to see. This is what we want to see here. But once the storms move through, immediately the cold front is going to slide through and start forming some cells right east of the Columbia, Jefferson City area, almost over the Lake Ozarks and west of the Lynn area towards California. Places like those, like the 4 p.m. area, is still going to be thunderstorming here. And that's when we just have the cold front that's moving through that could bring damaging winds, a low-end tornado threat, not strong tornado threat, and hail. So the only way we'll have the strong EF2 plus tornado threat is if we can get clearing in the afternoon. But it's still, the model is not showing any clearing. But the boundary is going to allow for some storms to fire and with the cold front. So that is what we're talking about here. Let me just check a couple things here. Just checking a few things over here. Appreciate all the follows. I really do appreciate that. But like I said, everybody, like I said, this is a day that you need to be staying prepared. You need to stay aware. And if you're out and about, make sure you know where to go when warnings are issued. We will be live. We will be live during the severe weather event, okay? We'll be here. And remember, I'm in the severe weather event as well. So we're going to all deal with this together, okay? Right in the Creve Coeur area, right smack dab in the severe weather risk. So I'm going to be going through it with you. I'm not in Florida or Arizona. Places like that, live streaming the weather. I'm here. We're going to be watching it. We're going to have multiple people with us. Watching the radar as well to make sure we keep you ahead of the storm. But right now it looks more of a evening threat than an early afternoon. So it looks like more after around 4 p.m. we have to watch out to our west. See what out to the west is doing. So we have to look out to the west, see what is happening. And then as we get into Monday evening, around 7 p.m., that's where we'll have to watch as well. So my timing right now at least with this current model run, is 4 p.m., 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then finally around 9 p.m. it starts to move out. So from 4 to 9, I know it's a terrible time, horrible time for the severe weather event, but also if you want to know, if you want to get notified when we do go live, just go to YouTube, search up Team Kenny Weather, just turn on post notifications. You can still watch here on Facebook, but it'll send you a notification when we do go live so you can track the weather. But I would stay watching the Facebook page all day tomorrow. Watch my Facebook page all day. We're going to keep you updated. I'm getting off early as well, so we're going to have a lot of time to keep you prepared as long as we have power. As long as we have power, we're going to keep you updated the whole way through this thing. So, like I said, if you're just tuning in, the timing, we're going to have showers and thunderstorms. We'll check the radar here in just a second. But showers and thunderstorms in the morning. Showers and thunderstorms are in the morning. Looks like the boundary was set up right along about the I-70 area. Around I-70 in Illinois, Missouri. That's where the boundary was set up. That's where the warm, unstable air mass will stay. And then once we get into the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 time frame, that is when we're going to see the biggest shot of severe weather. So 4 to about 9 is when we're going to see the severity of the severe weather. So that is when we need to be watching out for the storms and have multiple ways to receive alerts. So you can see here out to our west, believe it or not, everybody, I know we haven't spoken of it too much, but we do. This is the morning storms that we're talking about here. This is the morning storms that we're talking about. It's already out to the west here, just west of Columbia, west of Jefferson City. There is a tornado watch near the Rolla area. Tornado watch near the Rolla, Vienna, St. James. This goes until about 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Monday is what this is for. Storm Prediction Center did say that it's going to weaken by the time it gets to our area, so we shouldn't have to worry about any tornado threat, but we'll monitor just in case as well. But we do have a severe weather threat. Make sure going to sleep tonight. We do have a severe weather threat part of the area near the Union, the Sullivan, Gerald. Very few little of our area near the Lynn, Jefferson City, Columbia, Waynesville, Rolla. It's in a 2 out of 5 threat. This goes until 7 a.m. Monday morning, so make sure you're watching out for that. And then also the St. Charles, O'Fallon, St. Louis is in a 1 out of 5 a severe weather threat. But the big day is on Monday with the strong to severe storms that are possible. So the atmosphere is ready. The atmosphere is ready for strong storms, is capable of seeing strong storms, but the morning storms could limit the impact of the severity and the intensity. But I don't think we're not going to have any severe weather. We are going to have, I'm very confident to tell you that we are going to have severe weather, but it's just the intensity at this moment. Okay, so there's not a guarantee that we're going to have strong EF2 tornadoes. It's not guaranteed that we're going to have large baseball-sized hail. Those two are possible. Those two are possible. What we really need is around this time here, let's get the timing back up. Around like 1 or 2 o'clock, we need to clear out quickly. We need to clear out quickly if we want severe storms to happen. So you can see if we're not raining by this time and it starts to clear out and sunshine, any little bit of sunshine can get through here or the boundaries left over and creates warm, unstable air mass, that's when the storms could pop up early ahead of this front. And if we get a storm that pops up just about right here, it will have everything. That's where we can see the strong tornadoes, large damaging winds at the baseball size, and 80+ mile per hour winds. So there's still a little bit of uncertainty. So if you're seeing any forecast that is like a hard, severe weather event, it is possible, but the intensity, that's the main thing. The intensity is uncertain, and that's one thing I want to be very honest with you. We'll have severe weather, but just the intensity is just very unsure. It's kind of, unfortunately, I know you guys don't like to hear it, but it's unfortunately, it's just the day of. It's just the day of, and we'll have to look at model data to see how it is. That's why it's very crucial that you continue to watch my Facebook page closely throughout the day, because we'll let you know very early on what we think. But more than likely, there's a high percent chance, like an 80% chance, that we will have a tornado watch issued for all of our area. It's just, there's no way to get around that part. I still see a tornado threat regardless of what happens. It just depends if we're going to get the higher inside or we're going to get the low inside, where we get damaging winds, hail, small hail, and quick spin up tornadoes. But the severity, intensity is uncertain, but severe weather in general is likely. So that is my honest opinion right here. And you can see about from 4 to 9. 4 to 9 plus or minus an hour before, so maybe 3 or so, is when we need to watch. So the whole evening commute. The whole evening commute is when you need to be prepared. The whole evening commute is when we need to be prepared, everybody, okay? The whole evening commute. Because right now, anything can happen. We can get a strong tornado. We can get damaging winds. We can get everything possible with this. So, like I said, we're going to be live, through the whole event. We're going to be on live early, and we're going to post updates throughout the morning as well with new model data. So, we're going to be live. That's the biggest thing. I got a lot of questions if I'm going to be live. I am going to be live. So, I am going to be live for this severe weather event. We do have a couple people that I'm adding just to help out as well, to make sure we confirm everything and make sure everything's good. And we'll have my director of operations. She's going to be on staff too. So we're going to be very quick with things. She's going to monitor the cameras and all that other stuff to make sure we're doing pretty good. So like I said, lots of people are going to be here with you. Like I said, I'm going to be in the severe weather risk as well. So I'm not scared, everyone. I'm not scared of the severe weather. I just don't want the hail. I'll just be honest with you. I love my car. I love my car so much. She is very high maintenance. I would say she's very high maintenance. But I just don't want the dents, okay? But I just don't want the large hail. So my thing, we are going to go to National Weather Service real quick. And this is going to give just a visual of basically what we're talking about. Very easier to read part here. So let's get this load up, and we're going to walk you through this as well. And you guys are very welcome. You guys are very welcome. Like I said, I want to make this not scary for you, okay? I know the anxiety is very high, but I want to make sure you guys are aware of what could happen. So, look, severe weather expected Monday. We have told you that already. Monday afternoon and evening, all hazards are possible. You see that, everybody? All hazards are possible. That's a huge thing right here. It's not likely, it's possible, okay? So, and basically says thunderstorms are possible, early morning, large hail, damaging winds, and heavy rainfall are possible. Dominic says, I don't want the hail nor the tornado. Yeah, me too. I just don't want any severe weather at all, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want nothing. And Molly says, I don't want any of it. I agree. So additional thunderstorms are expected Monday afternoon and evening, with these likely to become largely severe. They say about 2 to 10 p.m., but the National Weather Service covers a larger area all the way up to the north. So they have to factor in everybody. But baseball-sized hail, damaging winds, tornadoes, and a couple which may, not will, but may. That's a huge thing right here. A couple which may become strong. And Monday morning thunderstorms results in uncertainty and the forecast for the afternoon and evening storms, where the worst storms will be. So like I said, they're not even saying possible or likely. Well, they're saying possible, but it's not a guarantee. They're not even guaranteed. And the Storm Prediction Center has been adjusting their outlook. So, oh wow. Okay, I have not looked at this, but look at our timing, everybody. So Columbia is going to be about 2 to 6, 4 to 8 for a majority of us, including Jeff City and to our Illinois counties. 4 to 8. Remember I said 4 to 9? Wow, that's very accurate. And then 6 to 10, almost an overnight threat towards southern Illinois, almost near Kentucky, Indiana area. So this is the time of the greatest instability. So we're not really worried about the morning part of it. We're more worried about the evening from 4 to 8. Like I said, the evening commute, the whole evening commute needs to be watching out for this. And all hazards are possible as well. And we'll show you the matrix. And look at this, everybody. So take a look here. Highest threat potential. And here we go. So tornado threat. Number of tornadoes expected. We can see a couple, but not an outbreak. They're not even forecasting a tornado outbreak. It's just too uncertain. It's too risky to call a tornado outbreak. But the intensity of the tornadoes could be on the strong side. So we have the discrete cells, and we're not going to see too many tornadoes. Not an outbreak, but we could see some that are strong EF2. But we just have to see. We're not guaranteed that we're going to see EF2, your house is going to be destroyed. That is not likely. It's just possible. It's on the table. Okay? It's on the table. This is what we're worried about. Scattered hail. Scattered hail up to baseball size or larger could be expected and likely. So that is what we really have to watch out, the hail threat. So if you love your car, I will find a parking garage that you could park it in, because that's what I'm mainly concerned about, is the hail threat and the damaging winds. Damaging winds and hail are the two main things that I'm worried about. Tornado threat is just very iffy. Very iffy on what the tornadoes can actually do, if they can be strong, widespread. But I'm not really overly concerned about an outbreak at this time. I'm not really concerned about an outbreak at the moment, but baseball-sized hail and 70 miles per hour winds that could be up to destructive with the severity of the storm. But remember, it all depends on the morning storms. But I just want to let you guys know that the morning storms are not going to destroy the severe weather threat. It will limit the intensity of the severe weather threat. So that's the main thing. It will limit the intensity. It will not destroy the severe weather threat. But I'm not seeing a confirmed tornado outbreak, large severe weather outbreak at this moment. There's just not a lot of data support right now that would support a tornado outbreak. So that is what we're seeing now. And let me go back to see if we have the last run of the HRRR that goes all the way out. This is the latest data, and just want to let you guys know, at a certain point, the models you can't just rely off of. At a certain point, the models, especially tomorrow morning, it really is just not going to work out. Just really not going to work out. So like tonight is probably the last night you can really look at the models. The next of it is just nowcasting, because you'll just have to watch and see the mesoscale analysis. And that's the part that we're going to be doing for you. Dominic says the longer morning storms limit the intensity. That is correct. So the longer the storms are around in the morning, the less time the atmosphere can destabilize and ramp up and cause those EF2 baseball-sized hail. Your house is going to be destroyed. You should have bought a storm shelter. So that is that. That's why we're saying possible. That's why we're not saying likely. Now, if the storms clear out faster, the intensity ramps up. That's where we can see strong EF2 tornadoes. That's where I would start to panic and have lots of anxiety. Oh, you're very welcome, Dominic. No problem. Karen says, we'll be on alert. Yes, you want to be on alert, especially around 4 to 8 p.m. 4 to 8 p.m., but I would be on alert all day. Make sure your phone alerts, the widespread phone alerts for warnings are turned on. Make sure you have that going on. Make sure if you want a notification when we go live, go to our YouTube page, and you can subscribe and turn on post notifications, and you'll be alerted when we go live as well, send you a notification. And make sure you have other weather apps that send you notifications as well, because sometimes there's ones that are faster, there's sometimes that are slower, so need to make sure. And we're going to post warnings on our Facebook page as well, so we're going to be posting warnings on our Facebook page as well. So let's take a look at the latest data here. And you can see the storms, even with the latest data that we have that goes into 12 p.m., is still showing storms lingering around in the afternoon. So at least At least right now, at least right now, I don't want to call anything. I want you guys to be prepared for both ends. The strong end and the low side. But right now, just looking at the data that's in front of my face right now casting for you, just what I can see, it only goes till 12 p.m. Showers and thunderstorms are still lingering, and it's midday. So can the atmosphere really try to form something before the cold front gets there? I'm not really seeing that happening. So, like, the lower side of the intensity looks to be in play right now, but we're not going to rule out the strong side. The strong side is still possible, but from data that I'm looking at, we could see spin up tornadoes, damaging winds, and hail. So, like I said, regardless, we're going to see severe weather because the cold front has to move through, and it always brings severe weather no matter what. It's just the intensity. It says, thank you, Kenny. We'll be watching from St. Charles. Perfect. That's what we like to hear. So, yes, we are going to be live, and I am very grateful that my job supports what I do, and they're letting me get off early so I can be here for you guys. So, I really do appreciate them. Some of them watch here, so I really do appreciate you guys for letting me do that. So, we're going to be live streaming the whole time. Let's just make sure we don't have any power outages. So, it's hard to, in an apartment, to have like a generator and stuff like that. But if we could have a generator, it would definitely be on the schedule to get in. So Molly says, or Georgie says, getting more third floor apartment bathroom as ready as I can just in case here in Wentzville. And, you know, that is not bad. I would just have an ideal of where you need to go when storms hit. Make sure you have a plan in place if you're going to be on the road and stuff like that. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts. Make sure you have your space cleared out in your basement. And if we get a tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning as well. Because remember, damaging winds up to 80 miles per hour is an EF0 to EF1 tornado. So the winds could be just as powerful without a tornado. So that is something that we have to watch out for as well. So yeah, nothing wrong with that, Georgie. Getting your apartment bathroom as ready as you can. Wouldn't hurt. Set a blanket in there as well so you're prepared. Molly says, always watching from Columbia. Thanks so much for everything. Oh, you're very welcome. So, like I said, we just need to be ready. We just need to be ready. Let's not panic. We just need to be ready. Because this data that we have currently is only showing that morning storms are going to be around. But there could be a leftover boundary that tries to spark some storms. But there is no cap. There is no cap that will limit these storms like the past couple of events. Excuse me. Thank you very much. And Georgie says, got my blankets and big pillow in the tub. Now, we're not asking you to sleep in the tub tonight. I think it'll be just fine. So, I think it'll be just fine. But it wouldn't hurt. My college has already started sending alerts so people will be ready for tonight and tomorrow. Yes. If you haven't already heard, I know we discussed it a couple times, but let's go back here. We do have a severe weather risk for the morning time, okay? Overnight into the morning, we do have a severe weather threat. Tornado threat is more for the Columbia, Jeff City, Lynn, Vienna, Rolla, Waynesville, and you can see the warnings out here already. Now, I don't think it's going to be that bad in our area, but we can see some damaging winds and some isolated hail that could be possible. But you can see the rain out here. If I turn off the outlook here, you can see the showers and thunderstorms. And this is what's going to be making our way into our area in the morning time. So overnight into the morning time, you can see it's right over Columbia area. We're really, right above. A little bit high scanning at the radar, but you can see it. Showers and thunderstorms. If we put on the Springfield radar, showers and thunderstorms, you can see the discrete cells. See, this is a perfect example. You see these discrete cells here? If we have this tomorrow, this is what I'm talking about. If we have this tomorrow, this is what a discrete cell looks like. You see how all these are warned, and 2 of them are tornado warnings? That's the worst case scenario. That's what it could look like. So that is a perfect example of what the radar could look like tomorrow. Or we just see like a line of thorns like this, and we just have a severe thunderstorm warning. So that is good. accurate thing to show you right there. So, like I said, 4 to 8 is the timing for tomorrow. 4 to 8 is the timing. But we need to be watching all day. We need to be watching all day. I appreciate the 5 new followers. I really do appreciate that. But we need to be watching all day and overnight tonight just for a damaging wind severe thunderstorm warning. We'll probably not be live for that. Depending, if we get a tornado warning, we'll hop on live. We'll probably not be live if we get a severe thunderstorm warning, unless it's before I go to sleep. But like I said, I'm going to recharge and make sure we're good for tomorrow because we're going to have a long day. And everybody, I would not rule out if Reed Timmer sits around our area. Okay? Would not rule out if Reed Timmer or storm chasers sit around our area. It will be possible. Like I said, the setup is there. We're not sure about the intensity. That's the biggest thing I can tell you. We're gonna see storms in the morning. Could be a damaging wind threat. Then we'll see how long it lasts. If it lasts early, it'll have more fuel, and that's where we can see the strong EF2 tornadoes. If it lingers too long and the atmosphere can't get its act together, we're going to have the cold front move in and have a lower intensity severe weather threat. But regardless, there's severe weather. I just want to let you guys know, regardless, there's going to be severe weather. And the main reason why we don't have a 4 out of 5 is just we're not sure when the rain is going to stop and how fast the atmosphere is going to recover. But all the parameters are there if everything goes right. If everything goes right, we can have a strong and severe weather event, but I don't want you guys to think about that part just yet. It's not guaranteed, but I want you guys to be ready. Just be ready with your alerts, your basement, wherever you go during your safe place when severe storms hit. And make sure you're watching our Facebook page constantly tomorrow. We're going to have another post tonight around 9 o'clock with later data, the full run of the HRRR. We're going to have another post about that. And we're going to have multiple updates throughout the day tomorrow. Says, going to start doing rain dances so it keeps the intensity down. Yes, we want the rain to last as long as possible. But like I said, don't be surprised if we have very strong storms. And also don't be surprised if we have lower end storms. Okay, so there's two possibilities that we could see here. Right now, Molly and the Columbia area, around the Mizzou, I think that's where you're at, I believe. Mizzou, is just showers and thunderstorms. There's no severe thunderstorm watch either. No warnings or anything like that. And Brittany, yes, the main time frame of concern is tomorrow from 4 to 8 p.m., yes. So unfortunately, the whole evening commute. Unfortunately, the evening commute is the time frame for severe weather, and we have been receiving reports this late afternoon, of schools getting out early. And I'm not sure about you guys, but like I mentioned in the first part of the live stream, not sure about you guys, but when we had severe storms, we did not get out early. They just told us if we had to take shelter, we're going to go to the first floor. We had 2 floors in the high school, and we're just going to duck our heads. No one's leaving early or nothing. And I'm just letting you know, Parkway North is probably not going to have any release because they just built a tornado shelter. I'm not sure if it's finished, but I know they have a tornado shelter that's supposed to fit the whole school. So that is what I was told. So one more time, we're going to go over the timing. We're going to go over the timing one last time here. One last time with the full run of the HRRR. And you can see showers and thunderstorms in the morning, and it's still showing. It's very consistent now. That is a good sign with the HRRR with the newest data that doesn't go all the way out. Still showing the Zach storm, still around 12 p.m. And during that time frame, around the 4 o'clock is where the destabilization, that's when it can ramp up. Back here is just a cold front. But in front of it, the warm front, that's where it could pop off the strong storm. So if it's still raining, it's going to be busy, it's going to be cloudy, and it's not going to be able to destabilize. We're going to have to wait for the cold front to move through, and that will bring our severe weather. And you can see it's really not that intensity. Let's take a hodograph here. And yeah, it's not really looking to, like, the surface cape is there and it shows marginal tornado, but the mid levels is not showing too much. And it shows a little bit of capping too. So, like I said, it doesn't look as strong, but it still supports severe weather that we could see, spin up tornado, line of storms, almost like before the past couple severe weather events. So, line of storms, this is 7 p.m., then 8, then 9. Once we get to 9, 10 o'clock, it's going to be out of the area. So, no overnight severe weather threat. No overnight. It's only evening is what we're talking about here. And yes, this is the strongest signal that we have seen so far, but this is only the 5th severe weather event that we have had. So, it's okay to use that title, I guess. But it's only April. We only have seen a couple severe weather events. But the last severe weather events almost had a little bit of the same setup, but it just had a lot of capping, which a lot of where storms can't form. This is not going to have any capping. We're just having morning storms. So this is almost like a summertime setup here. So that is what we're looking at here. And Josh, our weather analyst, he's not on screen, but he is behind the scenes. And he wanted me to tell you guys. Let me pull this up here. Let's see. He wanted me to tell you guys that there is a chance for both scenarios to play out. Here's our severe weather analyst, has lots of experience forecasting around the St. Louis area. And he says there is a chance that we could see strong to severe storms, and there's a chance that we could see a lower intensity. But he is also confident that we will see severe weather. He is pretty sure that around the area we're going to see severe weather. But like I said as well, the intensity is just in the question mark. So that is what we're looking here. Does anybody have any questions so far? Does anybody have any questions? Have I explained it a little bit easier for everybody? Hopefully I'm not causing too much panic. But I want to let you guys know to be ready. Be ready. Make sure you know where to go. Make sure you know where to go when severe weather strikes. And like I said, we're going to get through it together, okay? We're all in this together. We're all in this together. Brian says, any concerns for tonight? Brian, I think you're in the Waynesville area, right? I believe you're in the Waynesville area. You guys are in a severe weather threat. You guys have a low end chance for a tornado. Storms are going to be weakening as they get to your area, but I can't rule out a tornado warning or two for that area near the Waynesville area. Storms are still staying strong, but you guys are in a tornado watch until 2 a.m. So you guys are in a tornado watch for 2 a.m. These storms, as they get closer to our area, should be weakening. So they should be weakening as they get to our area, and it looks like it's slowly doing that. It is slowly doing that. So this showing broad rotation with these storms back here. But yes, I will watch out for a couple severe storms. Make sure you have ways to receive alerts. Oh, you're in the Raleigh area? Yeah, you guys are just on the outside of just inside the tornado watch. But the storms are going to be weakening, but I can't rule out a couple severe thunderstorm warnings, maybe an isolated tornado warning. So damaging winds will still be possible with this. So that is my concerns for tonight. So you guys could see a little bit of severe weather action. Severe weather action could be possible. And you see a new severe thunderstorm warning just east of the Lake of the Ozarks. So that is 60 mile per hour winds, 1 inch size hail. Nothing for the Columbia area. So Columbia area looks fine right now. So, but you can see the strong storms are off to your west. But still have a little bit to get to the area. Going to lose daytime heating, so that is going to be a good sign. So that is what I'm watching. So maybe a couple severe storms overnight. We will be live overnight if we get a tornado warning, but other than that, I'm going to rest because we have a big day tomorrow that we're going to have to be live for. So the HRRR model is going to start running here in a couple of minutes. So the HRRR is going to be running in a couple of minutes. Brittany, thank you so much for following. I really do appreciate that. Really do appreciate that, everybody. It's crazy how fast the channel grows. It's really surprising. And I really appreciate all you guys. I do this as a hobby. I don't do this to make money off of you, show ads in front of your face. Just want to keep you guys prepared of what's happening. So, like I said, overnight tonight, very low and severe weather threat. Damaging winds as a primary concern. Have to watch the Raleigh area because they are in a tornado watch, but most of it is wind and hail. Most of it is wind and hail. And then tomorrow, everybody, between 4 and 8 is when we have to watch for the severe weather, the high chance of severe weather. So from 4 to 8. So does anybody have any questions? Or I think we'll wrap up the live stream so we can look at the evening data. We can look at the evening data. So if you have any questions, post them in the chat. And like I said, make sure you spread the word that I'm going to be live tomorrow. Okay, make sure we spread the word that I'm going to be live tomorrow. Make sure you tell your friends and family, everybody that you know, that we're going to be live covering this event. So we're going to be live covering this event. We're going to have all the highway cameras. We're going to have a couple live cameras as well watching this. And let's hope that it rains too long. Let's hope that it rains too long and the intensity is on the lower end side. So Northwest School District letting out early at 1. Thank you so much for that report, Leslie. I need to make like a little website that I can post all that so people can check on that. So like I said, make sure you spread the word to everybody that you know that we're going to be live covering this severe weather event. We're going to be here with you throughout the whole thing. The whole thing, as long as we have power. We have the fiber internet, so that will be nice. We shouldn't have any stream delays. We haven't had any in the past few streams that we had the fiber, so we made a couple upgrades here. We just don't have the power supply backup worked out. So like I said, moral of the live stream, the last few remarks, is that be prepared, have multiple ways to receive alerts, make sure you check back on my Facebook page. We're going to be live tomorrow, and remember, if it rains in the morning, it can have a lower intensity of severe weather. If it clears out quickly and the atmosphere recovers very quickly, that's when we'll have to watch out for the large, potential strong tornadoes and damaging winds and baseball-sized hail. So if you're near a tree, if you park under a tree anywhere tomorrow afternoon, I would highly not encourage that. Okay? Highly not encourage that. And if you love your car, be prepared for the hail as well. So like I said, we're going to have severe weather regardless tomorrow. It's just the exact intensity is unknown. And we will have another post update. We'll have a post update at 9 p.m. with the latest HRRR. We might wait a little bit, 9:30. I know everybody's going to sleep early. We might just do 9 o'clock. But we'll have another update with the data. But we're really going to look at the HRRR. Brian says, Raleigh planning an indoor recess tomorrow afternoon, at least at elementary school. Okay. Yeah, when the details start, I know a couple schools. I think I got a report from Rockwood says they're going to analyze. Potosi has canceled their baseball game tomorrow. So they're making decisions. I think a lot more decisions will come in the morning. So like I said, make sure you have lots of ways to receive alerts. We're not going to be able to keep up with all the schools. There's just way too many schools around the area to keep posting with the updates. But I wanted to let you guys know that they have started to watch out for early releases and think early releases will be necessary, which I haven't seen before. I have not seen the early release. I have not been part of the early release for thunderstorms. So that is something we're watching. So like I said, we're going to be live tomorrow. Be prepared. Make sure you guys get a good night's sleep tonight. Don't think about it too much. If we have a warning, it's okay. But the main threat is going to be tomorrow. Okay? The main threat is tomorrow afternoon. Wouldn't worry about too much tonight. But the main threat will be tomorrow afternoon. Yes. Oh, that is a good point, Leslie. If you or anybody knows, you can add the schools in the earlier posts. Yes, that is a good message right there. You can add the schools in the earlier post where we did mention that the schools that were releasing early. I just happened to scroll through Facebook on my weather page account, and I just seen one school was, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll check more. And then that's when I started to post that update. So we'll have to watch these storms out to the west. We'll monitor that before we go to sleep tonight and post updates as needed. But Columbia area is out of the way right now. No warnings, no watches. Raleigh is just in a tornado watch right now. Raleigh is just in a tornado watch. So that is that. So I think we're going to wrap up the live stream. We're going to wait here and look at the data and post a update tonight. And we will be getting prepared for tomorrow. So busy day tomorrow. For not only me, but for you. Okay, let's remember 4 to 8. 4 to 8 for the severe weather threat. Alrighty, everybody. If we don't have any questions, I'll just wait around here just for a minute or two. If you don't have any questions, I think we're going to wrap up the live stream. So I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Hopefully you guys got a great idea of what's going to happen tomorrow. We're still going to keep you updated with the latest data in about an hour or so. Don't want to hold you guys on here till 9 p.m. So we're going to have a post here. So we're going to get ready off stream. My team is going to get ready for tomorrow. We're going to get everything set up and prepared and rehearsed to make sure everybody's good. Everybody knows what they're doing. And we're going to analyze the latest data that comes into the Weather Center. So I appreciate you guys so much for watching. We'll make it through. We'll make it through, everybody. We'll be okay. So let's get a good night's sleep tonight. Be prepared. Have multiple ways to receive alerts. And we'll see you back here tomorrow for live severe weather coverage right here on the Team Kenny Weather Facebook page and YouTube page. Have a great night. And we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll keep you advised and check back here regularly for updates.